Amid the governor's latest guidelines, some businesses are growing restless and opening anyway. We were the first to tell you of 2 Calhan restaurants now violating rules and serving in their dining room again. They cite their constitutional rights to open. KRDO News Channel 13's Julia Donovan talked with a constitutional law professor on whether those rights are in fact being violated.
The law professor I spoke with today told me the government isn't technically allowed to close down businesses or do many of the things in these executive orders, but he said that doesn't necessarily mean we'll see recourse for everything that's happening once it's over.
They have the right to open.
You have the freedom to operate a business.
Protests all over the country and right here in Colorado with signs saying their constitutional rights have been violated, fighting against the restrictions to stay closed. Government officials and health professionals alike say those rules come under the emergency protection order and are necessary to keep thousands of more people from dying.
They're sometimes depicted as being crazy, but they're appealing to strong, basic American instincts.
CU constitutional law professor Bob Nagel says the COVID-19 restrictions are clear violations of our rights, but because this crisis is so unprecedented, it's a little harder to make that distinction.
If these things were being done one at a time, they'd be challenged in courts as raising obvious constitutional problems.
He says due to the size and scope of regulations in almost every state, it's less likely the courts will take action against them, at least during the crisis, because historically they haven't.
We have had very large expansions of governmental power during times of emergency.
Nagel gave examples, the limitation on freedom of speech during World War I and Japanese internment camps in World War II. But he told me there's actually no exception to our rights written in the Constitution.
No, there's not any constitutional provision or principle that says constitutional rights can be violated when we have an emergency.
He argues the opposite was said during the Civil War.
The court said the Constitution restrains the government in good times and bad.
Now, Nagel told me he doesn't see the temporary infringement on our rights as a major issue as long as things go back to normal eventually. Here in southern Colorado, we haven't seen any significant legal action taken against those businesses that have decided to reopen. And of course, we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. Reporting live in Colorado Springs, Julia Donovan, KRDO News Channel 13.
Interesting debate, Julia. Thanks. Here are the latest numbers in southern Colorado. Remember, these are totals since the outbreak began. Overnight, we learned of 1 new death in El Paso County and 18 new cases. Pueblo County seeing 6 new cases, no new deaths. In Teller County, no new reported deaths or cases. Across the state, 16 new deaths.